Okay, a really nice set of exercises. It really targets that kind of outer back of the hip. That's very easy to cheat in when we're just lying straight down on our side. All right, so give it a go. It does depend a little bit on your hip movement, but play around with it at home. Don't force anything that does not feel good for your hips. And what I think is a nice starter is just take the legs forwards and do a little windshield wiper kind of a stretch. Okay, because the position we're looking to get in is this mermaid position here with the knee to the opposite foot. All right, now if the legs were a little bit stacked, you're a little bit staggered, I think that would work out just fine as well. Okay, you're going to take your back hand around to the front, so the two hands are in front of this bottom leg here. Okay, this bottom leg ideally is coming straight out from your hip as opposed to pointing upwards. All right, so coming straight out from your hip, and that's where you might need to stagger the knees if you can't get that full mermaid leg position. You're going to take the hands onto the floor, and I think a really nice stretch to start with here is just to allow yourself to flex and stretch into that twisted position in the lower back, and then ease back into it. But don't do anything too quick and don't force into anything. Keep the far hip nice and heavy it'll give you a nicer stretch as you bend forwards, and it'll help you to stack back up again that waist. So we don't want too much scrunching into your waist here. One more like that, flexing. And then stacking back up and hold it there. Now the goal of this is to try and lift this back leg, but without bending the elbows or without sinking into the lower ribs. So breathing out. It's easier if you need to walk the hands a little bit further forwards. That's going to take your chest in a lower position, and it's going to make lifting this back leg a little bit easier. It's not going to be in such an inner range kind of short position. Okay, lift the leg, keep it lifted and work it forwards and backwards mainly. We're mainly pushing backwards and then just coming back forwards. Okay, so really, really nice way to target those outer, deeper hip muscles. Okay, and then let the leg down, reach it straight. So a really nice one here. We're now in that really extended position from the crown of the head all the way down to the foot. So nearly like a swan dive exercise except with rotation. Now this bottom leg is like our pivot point, it's nearly like our seesaw axis. So you're going to bend your elbows, and as you bend your elbows, you're not lowering the head, you're not flexing, you're keeping that chest lifted and then lifting back up. So the shape is staying the same throughout the movement. We're just seesawing over that bottom leg. It's the elbows that's moving, that's it. Alright, and yes, the arms are working, yes, your trunk is working, but that hip really has to work to keep the leg in that position. Last two, and one, and come back up. Take a bit of a stretch to that hip, allow your hip to be heavy, take a stretch of it, and then we're going to do that the opposite side. So I think again, it's a nice exercise to do, just a windshield wiper the legs, and then take the legs over to the opposite side. So they can be staggered or in that mermaid position here. Doing the stretch, the same stretch for the back on this side. Tuck the chin. This time we are rolling down. This time we are looking for a little bit of flexion just to get the movement into the back. Keep this opposite hip heavy. Tucking the chin, flexing down. Stacking back up, just easing into it. Last one. Perfect. And back up. And taking your hands into whatever position you can lift this back leg. So that might be further forwards if you're very stiff in the hips. It might be closer in if you're a little bit more, if you're a little bit freer. That is not going to make it any easier though. You still have to actually physically lift the leg. Alright, so lifting and lowering. You're trying to lift the knee and the foot at the same time, rather than knee and then the foot. And we're trying to keep them in line with each other as well. 2 and 1, keep it lifted, push it back and forwards. Okay, foot and knee staying the same height. 2 and 1, perfect. Straighten out the leg. You can take the hands a little bit further forward, a little bit wider if you need to. We're bending the elbows, taking the elbows down and then pressing the arms straight again, lifting and lowering. Working that leg to keep that extended shape. 5 more. 2, and 1. Lift and then swing that leg around and take a stretch. Take a few deep breaths, shake or circle the shoulders, and that's another really nice series that targets some of those easy to miss muscles deep in and to the outside of the hips.